Hello, welcome to some more World of Tanks. Today we're going to be looking at the Matilda IV. This isn't my video, this is actually a replay of H Alpha, or Alpha Tank Buster as he's known in World of Tanks. And this is a very interesting tank. It's a premium tier 5 and it's a medium Soviet tank, but effectively it's a British tank, but it's leased out to the Soviet line. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the history because I simply really don't know it that well, but it is a very nice tank, and you'll see in a second how well Alpha does in this game. But anyway, I'm going to go through some of the specifications of this tank to start with. We're just about to engage with the first enemy, which is actually a Lux, and this is a very good shot. I'm just going to zoom in just to show you what actually happens. It's a bit dusty and stuff, but he hits a Lux, it catches fire, and it pretty much gets blown up pretty nicely there, so that's a good shot there. But anyway, the hull armor, it's got 75mm at the front. Pretty much it's just as good as a KV1. It's got 70 at the sides again. It's very good. My armor values are at the same as a KV1, so I'll show that in a second once Alpha engages in a KV1, but that will be a little bit of a while. And even 55mm at the back, so even if you're shooting at the back, it's going to struggle to penetrate most of the time. Turret armor, 75mm all round, very good turret armor. Basically anyone shoots at the turret, it's not going to go through. And I'm going to tell you the cost of this thing in a second. It's 1.5k gold, which is reasonable really, but it's a very nice tank. Very good price as well for what you get, and it's got engine power of 274 horsepower, so it's okay engine power. As you probably guessed, it's not going to be incredibly fast. The top speed is about 25 km an hour, but what you'll probably notice by this is effectively a heavy tank. I mean, in that respect, I mean that you're going to play it as a medium/heavy more than a just simply a medium. But it's got a decent gun. The guns doesn't kind of do tons and tons of damage, but I mean it's kind of reasonable. I suppose it's maybe not too far off the KV1, but it has got reasonable penetration, so it's pretty good all in all. And the aim time is very quick as well. Ammo capacity about 60 rounds, which again, that's all you need effectively. Rate of fire 16.15 rounds a minute. That is incredible for a gun of this caliber, because the gun's not amazing, but it's actually pretty good. The penetration's reasonable, the damage is pretty decent, so yeah, for what you get with that, it's pretty good with the fire rate and aim time, so it is very fast. You can do a lot of damage with this, as you can probably quite imagine. I'm just going to speed up a bit just so we get to a bit more of the action, instead of just waiting on it. So we've had one kill so far. I'm going to slow down again here, because we will soon find what's going on back here. Now, the key with this is, I will tell you now that Alpha gets 3 kills, which is very good. That's a pretty good game for anyone having 3 kills, but what you've got to realise at this is that he also actually does a ton of damage. So he may not necessarily get all the kills where he shoots them, but he does do a lot of damage to some of these tanks. So you can see there's a medium there, a Panzer, not quite sure what that is, Panzer 3 or Panzer 4, and there you go, good shot on the side, 84 damage, and he's firing back. So you can see the damage isn't amazing, but it has the potential to do like up to 130 or something. So it is reasonable, but again, you're going to be pecking away at them with that high rate of fire and good aim time. So you can see that's the potential what it can do. 112, that's a pretty good shot. And at that point, it's a bit unfortunate because he gets a couple of bounces at this point. And at that, a ton of people suddenly come in and do that. But okay, it does get a kill, I forgot about that. But you can see those kind of people are hungry to get that kill. So it's a bit unfortunate for people that do that, because it was, even though he did get the kill, it was effectively always should have been his kill. So he's taken 2 shots here. The first one penetrated but didn't do any damage. He took another shot from Tank Destroyer, did 8 damage to him. Again, nothing major. His tracks are slightly damaged. And he kind of did pretty well. This Slug is backing away due to the fact that it's on 40% health and it's just about to get killed. Again, I'm just going to speed it up a bit so we can get a bit closer to the action, instead of me just babbling on about all sorts of random stuff. So this is the KV1, this is what I've been waiting to show you. So both the KV1 and Matilda have pretty much the same arm values. I can't compare them right now, but they are pretty reasonable. They're both pretty much on par in terms of armor. but you can see the gun at this range is struggling to penetrate the KV-1. Now that's kind of expected because this gun is kind of, it is good, but the penetration isn't like definitely going to go through. You're going to have to get pretty good shot, and you're going to have to be at a pretty good range as well to get through without him or the KV-1 angling his armor. So this does unfold in a second. I have a feeling he looks to shoot that guy, but just can't quite get him. So I'm just going to like speed up again so we can get through to this. So at this point, Alpha's not worried about the KV-1 firing at him because both the KV-1 and the Matilda are going to struggle to penetrate each other because they've both got excellent arm values. Especially at the way Alpha's angled, he's not going to get a shot on him really. Most of them are going to bounce off, so it's pretty good. And I didn't mention that the engine on this thing is tier 3, which kind of makes sense with the speed and such. But there's only a 15% chance of fire because it's a diesel, which again adds to the fact that it's pretty good. So he does actually probably bounce a shot there instead of have penetration with no damage. But you can see even the KV-1's going to struggle with that 85mm gun to penetrate him. And here you go. Even at the rear, it's kind of struggling. He probably will eventually. Yeah, there you go. There's another KV-1 dead. So it just shows that this gun is reasonable, but it's kind of not particularly as predictable as you hope, in a sense. And that's what I've kind of found with the British guns. I don't have too much kind of experience with them, but what I have noticed is that they often have good values like accuracy, good rate of fire, and like a good aiming time, but quite often they kind of like not quite as good on the damage size. Usually because I'm used to like KV-1S, I'm kind of used to having massive alpha damage because it's got a big reload time. It's not particularly accurate, but then when you come to British guns you realise that there are different features that kind of make up for it being as good as it is. So at this point this is the max that Alpha gets in this game. 3 kills. I think he does do some more damage. I'd expect he does. I can't actually remember. I did watch this yesterday, but I can't remember. So yeah, at this point, again, get a few bounces off. I think that's probably a T28. No, T34. So, in fact, but what I've kind of noticed about the T34 is they actually have pretty good armor. Now, I always kind of thought of them as having pretty mediocre, but at the front they're pretty hard to penetrate due to the sloping, and if they angle that armor, they've got pretty good, like, theoretical armor. So there you go, that is pretty much the end of it. I mean, the only guy left is the BT7, which, to be honest, isn't going to get very far with that. All I know, I have a weird feeling suddenly that Alpha does actually get this kill. But I can't remember. I seem to remember him getting 3 kills, but then I suddenly remember 4 kills, but I'm not sure. Maybe it does, hard to see. I'll just speed up a bit nonetheless. So at this point, obviously Alpha's just looking for this last BT7. It's a pretty fast guy, and he's over there, so there you go. That is the end of the replay. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video, and it was pretty interesting, I hope, because it wasn't me playing as well, which means that Alpha has got a pretty good game for me to commentate over instead of me having to do a live game getting completely killed all the time. But there you go, that's a pretty good game all round. I didn't get to see what he got afterwards, unfortunately, because it is a replay, but I heard that he got about 2.5k XP, which is pretty good. I'm not sure if that was with a bonus, and that's of course premium as well, but anyway, that is very good. And I think a Panzer IV got 5 kills, but again, I think that's one of the people that were going around stealing a couple of the kills. But anyway, thanks for watching it, as I said, and I hope you did enjoy the video, and remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.